everyone, we are from Group 12. We would like to explain about gerunds and to infinitive. But firstly, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Lusyaffa Kamila and my partner is Nurul Aini. So let's get to the lesson. The first is gerund. What is gerund? A gerund is a noun made from a verb by adding in. The gerund form of the verb read is reading. We can use a gerund as the subject, the complement, or the object of a sentence. Let's take a look at the example. The first, reading helps you learn English. The verb reading is a gerund as subject because the verb is followed by verb. Another example of gerund as subject is going to parties is fun. Living in the city center can be stressful. The second is gerund as complement. Let's take a look at the example. Her favorite hobby is reading. The verb reading there is a gerund as a complement. The other example is, it was so interesting for her. I always dreamt of going abroad. Gerund as an object of certain verbs. It is because they followed another verb. For example, I enjoy reading. He likes eating burgers. They finished working in the garden. Here are some verbs followed by a gerund. Gerund as an object of preposition. There is preposition before the gerund. For example, they admitted to committing the crime. Leslie made up for forgetting my birthday. He is thinking about studying abroad.
Next, the second is to infinitive. What is an infinitive? An infinitive is the true form of the verb. The infinitive form of learn is to learn. You can also use an infinitive as the subject, the complement, or the object of the sentence. For example, first, to learn is important. Second, the most important thing is to learn. Third, he wants to learn. Fourth, I decided not to go. And the last is, the most important thing is not to give up. That is the function of the infinitive. Do you guys realize? As the example before, we could see the infinitive is first a subject of a sentence, the second is a complement of sentence, and the last is an object of a sentence. Next, we will know more about the type of infinitive. The first is the infinitive as a subject of sentences. For examples, the first is to learn is important. In the sentences, there is to learn as a subject of sentences. And then there is to enjoy the scenery, the beach is great fun. And the last, there is to be with you is my dream. The second is to infinitive as a complement of sentences. For example, the first, the most important thing is to learn. And the second, there is the most important thing is not to give up. There are words to learn and to give up as a complementary in the sentences. The third is the infinitive as an object of sentences. For example, the first, he wants to learn, and then I decide not to go. And the last, there is Emily has agreed to buy a house. In the sentence, there are to learn, to go, and to buy as an object of the sentences. The fourth is to infinitive with the question word. For example, number 1, do you understand what to do? Number 2, could you please tell me when to start? In the sentence, there are to do and to start as to infinitive with a question word. In this page, we will identify the infinitive in the several songs. In the first paragraph, there is She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5. In the lyrics of the song, there are words to stay, where to stay is of object in the sentence.
Let's conclude it. Both gerunds and infinitives can be used as the subject or the complement of a sentence. However, as subjects or complements, gerunds usually sound more like normal spoken English, whereas infinitives sound more abstract. Infinitives emphasize the possibility or potential for something and sound more philosophical. If this sounds confusing, just remember that 90% of the time you will use a gerund as the subject or complement of a sentence.
As pleasure of our group, we'd like to thank you all for watching these videos.